Welcome back to New Day. You know, I don't even want to tell y'all how much candy I ate this weekend. So naturally, I'm thinking about how to clean up my act. But get this, I recently spoke to a woman who says you don't have to spend a ton of time prepping to eat healthy. You just need to do a little planning. I talked with food coach Christina Conrad about meal prep and menu planning for busy people.
What is the value of meal prepping?
Oh, that's a great question. I think of it as menu planning, and menu planning is really about having a sustainable approach to cooking with really the goal of a quality of life. It's about having a little bit more energy, a little bit more time so that you can spend it where you want instead of just like grinding to get dinner on the table.
I love that. So it's not just about, because a lot of people do meal prep to lose weight, and it's not just about that. It's about quality of life.
If people aren't doing menu planning, they're probably getting food from like one of three sources. So they're probably doing delivered meal services. They might be doing takeout, which you don't want to live on. It's nice, but you don't want to have to live on that. Or they might be doing a new recipe all the time, which takes a ton of time. And it takes a lot of energy to do something new all the time.
How do you get started?
Great question. So I think of it like it's not as much as how as when. So you want to start before Monday. If you have a typical Monday through Friday schedule, do not start on Monday. The train has already left the station.
So really dedicate yourself on like a Sunday night, or should you be thinking about it through the week about next week?
Yeah, you should be thinking about it through the weekend. So So what you should do is start like on a Saturday. I always try to encourage clients that wherever they feel like they have a little bit of space, it won't take a long time, but you kind of need to be in the space to think about it. So for us, a Saturday morning, my family, has coffee and we kind of land in our house. And over coffee, we'll go, what do we want to have for the week? And, when I put it together, it's really it's more of a menu than like rigid meals, because life is not linear and things are going to get in the way. And it's so much about being flexible, having a loose plan that serves you and you're not trying to serve. So you write it down. So that's huge. Put it on your refrigerator, because Wednesday is going to roll around and you will not remember what you planned. I guarantee it. And you don't want to. You want it to be crossed off the list and just know that the work is already done. Then you write your grocery list with your menu. So now you're grocery shopping with a plan. You're not going to the grocery store going, oh, well, should I get this or that? And then you end up with all of these random bits and bobs that don't go together, which creates more food waste. And you still have not answered the question of what is for dinner. And then it's really about scheduling a little bit of time to cook. So you kind of need to do the heavy lift of your week on like a Saturday. Typically I do it on a Sunday. So my husband will be watching football, or, my daughter will be napping. And that's typically when I do my probably 2-hour prep. So I'll make a big batch of soup, and then I'll do a couple things that I can keep in the refrigerator. A nice, maybe like a roasted chicken or some good salads, something that holds up through the week. So then come Monday, the work is done. I know that we have a couple meals all ready to go. The dishes are basically done because it doesn't take much to, kind of warm that up and give it a little zhuzh.
I like it. What do you have there?
I was working with a client who was going back into the office. She had recently got a new promotion, and she was kind of like, my brain is scrambled when it comes to anything else besides work right now, which we've all been there.
Yes.
And so what we did for her is a breakfast, lunch, and a dinner. So for the lunch, we knew that her lunch felt really hectic at the office. So what we did was, this is a gorgeous tuna, but it doesn't have any mayonnaise. It's red wine vinegar and olive oil, olives, it's piquillo peppers. So it's really vibrant, but it's all things that are like hearty and make you feel great. So she made this in a container and brought it to the office with a box of pre-washed greens, and boom, every single day that week, she was like, have a great lunch. Don't have to think about it, feeling like a champ. And she's like, check, feeling great.
But you should always ask your coworkers if they mind if you bust out a can of tuna. Meantime, if you'd like to learn how to make Christina's tuna crostini with peppers and olives, we have a recipe on our website. Looked so good, right?